going to wait for everyone here. This is called, okay. All right, okay. Now, I've called the video Breath and Death, basically. The final question, Breath and Death. Why have I called it that? Because I want to talk about death and mainly suicide and euthanasia. People have been asking me why I like what I think about suicide, what I think about euthanasia, what are my beliefs and all that. And I've said it in various videos, but I don't think I've said it clearly or elaborately enough. So I think I'm going to elaborate in this video as many points as possible, and I'm going to stick to a proper script because we're talking about a controversial subject, and I think it's a good idea to stick to a script. So let's go. So, see, life is a video game, right? And we have a lot of people are playing it at different levels. A lot of people forget anything. A lot of people are playing different games. Some of us are like Subway Surfer. We're just going on, going on, going on, making money mindlessly until we die, right? Some of us are like Call of Duty. Some of us, we just want action, high octane action. We just do things and then we die. And another bunch of us are like Sims. We do a bunch of things in our lives and then at the end of it we die. So we are all playing different kinds of games. This is life. But at the fundamental level, you are trying to breathe. Your entire quest is to breathe, is to fight death. Right? And the problem is that we do not talk about death. We do not talk about death enough. We do not talk about suicide, euthanasia, all these issues. We don't talk about it enough and at a intense enough level, then that is what creates a large number of problems. So I'd like to start with this video with a story about a family that used to live in Bombay. That is where I used to live, and it's a very interesting story. So this family went out one day. They took their car and they had fun the entire day. They came home for dinner. They met their relatives. They met their friends. Okay, and they were very happy. They had this. They had the best dinner they could afford, etc., etc. And then they went and they killed themselves. Four of them went and ended their lives. And many people may say that this is such a sad story, but I find it to be so beautiful because the acceptance of death, the idea. I'm not trying to encourage suicide here. I'm just trying to say that the acceptance of death was so beautiful. Everyone should accept death at this level. And it's the problem with death and suicide is that we don't accept it. We say there is no option. Like suicide is not an option. Who said so? Everything is an option. Anything within the laws of physics is an option. Why not discuss it? The moment you stop discussing it, you'll have horrible consequences. So many people are frustrated because suicide and death are simply not, forget accepted, they're not even discussed by society. See, if I don't accept something, that's fine, but I'm still willing to discuss it with anyone. Why not discuss it? Why not hear a new point of view on something that you don't accept? Why aren't we that evolved? And we've completely, like, death is such an important part of our lives. Yeah, literally, you and death are like this. Your body is not even living, it is continuously dying. So why don't you accept that your entire thing is fighting against death, and yet we don't talk about it? So I find it to be ridiculous. It's like this, there is this. I saw this documentary on women who entered porn in the US, and the reason they have entered porn is because sex was simply not discussed with them. They come from the Midwest. Sex was not discussed. All they had to do was sign abstinence certificates saying that they would never have sex until marriage. Right? But from 15 to 25, your body is so curious. It wants to know. So you'll go through anything just to find out about sex. Similarly, If you really want to die, if you want to talk about death, you're going to go to any this to find out about death. But if I believe that if we talked more about suicide, there would be less suicide for sure. You know. So now the question is, would I encourage it? No, I wouldn't encourage it, and I'll tell you why I don't encourage it. See, most people are alive for two reasons, okay? Because they were born and because they haven't died yet. These are the two reasons. Beyond that, they do not have a reason. What happens is they frustrate themselves searching for a reason. And when you search for a reason, what happens is the only thing is it can end up in disaster because there is no reason, right? I mean, you can create a reason, which is basically an illusion, and you can keep yourself happy for a large part of your life, and you can keep going. But then what happens is that you do not see life as it is. Like, you're not willing to forget willingness to accept death. You're not even willing to accept that life has no reason. So this kind of frustrates you. This creates massive problems in your own life, right? And you're unable to understand what life is. So a lot of people get obsessed with this idea, that, oh, I'm so sad, I'm so disappointed with life, I'm so depressed because I have other problems. My point is very simple. You are already here, right? You can go and end it anytime. So why not stay here? Stay here for a few more years, find out what life is, see what is going on here, okay, and try and understand, accept it. Your existence, your mortality, your death, your life, everything must be discovered by you. And I have also made a video on how to live a life I don't want. There are people who hate life, but they still want to continue living. There is a method to do it. Since, in fact, I find it so empowering that don't want this life, but you still have it because you can do anything with it. It's a very liberating idea to know that you don't really want something, but you already have it. It's like you don't want $1 million, but you have it, right? So, I mean, it's not the same thing, but you can consider it the same thing. It's the way you look at life that really matters. So this is what I believe, that you must discover life properly enough before you actually contemplate the main question, and that the final question. And okay. And before you let one emotion control you, like anger, disappointment, or this, learn all the other things about life. It's like life is a canvas, right? And on that, you're allowing one color to control you, whereas you can make as good a painting as you like. And always, this entire painting can be made with the idea that in the end I'm going to die. So what significance do my actions have? So that is how you should, I feel, look at life. But if you've sorted everything, if you're sorted about this entire idea, and if you're not frustrated about life, I feel you wouldn't want to die. When you have seen enough things about life, you won't care about it. You're just going to live it, and you're going to live it more fully than someone who's scared of death. What happens is, when you're scared of death, it basically shows that you are so obsessed with life. But the truth is, you're attracting death in a way. Right? So you and your body dies in various ways. You won't die, but your body will die because you're so scared, right? Something will fail, liver will fail, heart will have some arrhythmia nonsense. Okay, that is what happens with people who are scared of death. But if you want to die, none of this shit happens. I mean, because you're living life fully, your blood is flowing, you're doing things, chemicals are releasing. There is no fear. It's fear that is actually killing you, and it's killing you very slowly. Okay, I think basically, I think this is the last point here, that if you really want to kill something, kill your ideas of life, and everything that you have a concept about, all these concepts, all these ideas, all these desires, end it, kill all that thing, and then look at what life is for what it really is. So don't end it. Like, seriously, don't end it. Whereas euthanasia, now let's go into euthanasia. I agree with euthanasia because there is a timeline before it happens, right? Before you actually decide, and there is a whole number of checks and balances that are coming into the play before it actually happens. So I think it's very important to, euthanasia is very important, and it must be available openly. Of course, there must be checks and balances. Of course, there must be doctors before it happens, before it checks. Because A, it's painless. Okay. Secondly, it's fail proof. These two things are very important, because you know suicide can be painful and it may not be fail proof. So what you must do is you must fight for euthanasia, especially in your country. Anywhere it is, it must become public will. And death needs to have a PR redo. Like seriously, we need to change the image of death completely, because it's ridiculous the way people treat death as though it's some pariah, but it's all over you, especially during this pandemic. It is all over you. So learn to accept it. Learn to, just it's just a part of life, and it is all you are. Like your body is not living, it's dying continuously. Okay, now I'll take questions, guys, and I'll end it. Sorry, another short video, but let's go. Do you believe we can turn off the body consciously? Yes, it is possible. I it's not a belief. It's like, if I ever experience that idea, I will let you all know. But yes, I think it is possible. Like I won't be surprised if it's possible, because you have if you have complete control over your brains, then we can. When is the book about relationships coming? It's not. No, the book is not about relationships. The book is about. Uh, it's about men and women. It's about how men and women are and how they react to each other. Can we have any technology to beat death? Why do you want to beat death? What are you going to achieve by beating death? You see, right now we have already beaten death. But what is happening is that our bodies are living, but our minds are disintegrating, because everything has an expiry. Everything has an expiry date. So you can prolong your body, but you're going to suffer. You're going to be a vegetable, you know. In meditation, we can turn off the body. Okay, can we turn off the body through meditation? Yeah, I'm sure we can. I'm sure it is possible, because our minds are so powerful, right? And when we sharpen the mind, throwing the body away is not even an issue. So I think it's possible, but we'll need more proof for that, right? Okay. Do you ever walk down the street and look at people and just think, what the hell? I feel sick looking at everyone today. Yes, definitely. Because people are so vacuous, right? They are living an unnecessary life, and they don't know why they are here. And not only that, they're making it worse with ideas and ideas and ideas. They're just filling kids' heads with ideas. So, yeah, society is sickening. And I am basically a misanthrope. Vasectomy should be made legal above the age of 18. Yes, it is legal. It is legal, but it is against medical rules, in the sense of what happens is, especially in India, we had this guy called Sanjay Gandhi who forced everyone to get vasectomies, and I think he was a genius personally. But what happened is, then they made medical rules that the guy should be at least 22, and he should have at least one child and all that stuff. But if a doctor does it, it is not illegal. He will not be put in jail. So you have to just find a doctor who's ready to do it, morally, in all these stupid concepts of the head. Do you have a girlfriend? If yes, is she an antinatalist too? Could you date someone that already has children or wants them? No, I cannot. I don't think I can date someone who already has children. And yes, if I do have a girlfriend, then she has to be antinatalist for sure. Otherwise, or antinatalist, or at least child free. Like the idea, because I'm not going to have a child with anyone, so there's no question of that. Do you support? Okay, no, I don't. I am 23 years old. Many doctors are turning me down. Texted you a couple of days. Okay, 1 second. What do you think about saints? How are they different from scientists? What do I? Okay, so I think a scientist is just trying to discover something from the outside, right? But a saint, if at all there is some validity to what saints say, then I think they are trying to discover themselves from the inside, and that is more important than going out and discovering shit. I mean, why do you go and discover a star when you've not found yourself? I find that to be ridiculous. So if what a saint is saying is true, then I support a saint over a scientist, because a scientist is just finding some random nonsense. First, find yourself. No? You can't make a launch pad. You have to make a launch pad before you reach the moon, right? Okay, all right. I think that's enough for today. I will take one more question and then I'm done. I feel like everything is an illusion, because they're feeding through sensory organs. Do you believe we are in a simulation which is an accident? Yes, definitely. So I definitely think this is a simulation, and this is definitely an accident. It looks like some level of accident, But that is the point I want you to discover. That is what I want you to find out. That is this an accident? Like what have is really happening here? So yeah, I mean, it's or anything is possible, we could be we could be deliberate, but the creator's an idiot clearly, or we are most likely an accident because of the way we behave. We are clearly not a result of intelligent creation. UP had made a law for two-child policy. What do you think about UP? Is Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is a state in India, and yeah, I think a two-child policy is needed, and it is going to be implemented in India because our current government is very like vigilant about this idea, and they believe that people should have fewer children. But it makes sense because otherwise the country is going to be destroyed, which it already is on the path of. How did objects and consciousness get interlinked? See, it's possible that objects we created like we were created, and consciousness was just an accident. That is also possible. Another thing is that everything is conscious at some level. That is the other possibility. That the universe is conscious, that objects are conscious. Maybe there are different levels of consciousness. Because if you observe yourself, that you have different levels of consciousness during the day. Even when you are awake, you have different levels of consciousness. So you don't really know, you cannot say for sure what is conscious or what is not. The only way to do it is to realize what is within yourself. And once that journey is complete, then you will come to know that, okay, because once you realize your consciousness, then the chances are you will come to know about everything else. Because you are made of the same stuff that everything else is. So it's just a matter of time, you know. According to me, one child policy is the need of the hour. Yes, one child policy, no politician will agree with, and no, the people will not agree with it. So, yeah, we are going to basically destroy ourselves through democracy because, when China did the one child policy, now they're saying they screwed up because, within 10 years, suppose they run out of people, the people will rebel against the Chinese government. Now, that's a risk everyone has to take. But yeah, we're going to destroy ourselves through democracy because the people are greedy, they want more and more. So one child policy is not viable, at least in democracies. And you even if it is allowed, what is going to happen is a lot of people are going to have the second child because you cannot control people's libidos. That's just a fact. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's enough for now. Do you think government should pay child-free people? Yes, I think in the sense of we should at least get tax breaks. If we choose to take a vasectomy, we should at least get tax breaks. And I think that is something we can fight for and lobby for. Because a child is finally a burden on government resources. But what the government does is it considers the children an investment, because tomorrow he'll join the army, tomorrow he'll pay taxes, etc., etc. So yeah, that's the thing we are going to do. Yes, child-free people do save a lot for the government, but the people with children are more beneficial to the government currently. So until an entire PR thing is done, where people realize that okay, child-free people are more beneficial than anything else, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anyway. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end the questions here. And thank you for coming. I hope you liked what I said. And if you've not heard the entire thing, please go through the thing before what I had said previously. Let me know if you have any problems. Let me know if you'll have any questions, etc. What have you planned for your last time? Okay, that's the last question I'll take. Uh, Nothing. I'm living every day like it's my last. Like if you say that I'm going to die tomorrow, I'm not going to change anything in my day. I'm just going to be. I'm just going to live. All right. Have a good weekend and thank you for not breeding. To you too. Okay. Bye, guys. See you. Yeah. Thanks for coming. See you.